The United States Secret Service was approved and founded, ironically enough, on the day Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed by John Wilkes Booth. The Secret Service was originally tasked with protecting the integrity of the nation's currency. Eventually, their duties were extended to involve protecting the President of the United States. As the name implies, or if you've watched enough action movies, the Secret Service is extremely guarded and shrouded in mystery. They aren't exactly forthcoming about the methods they use to protect the person in the highest office in the land. But hey, that doesn't mean we're completely in the dark though. There are a few details that have come out here and there, either through leaks or maybe on purpose to throw off potential enemies. So, here are 9 secrets of the Secret Service. Number 9. The nature of their training. Secret Service agents are trained to be prepared for any possible eventuality. They undergo regular and rigorous training for a whole host of scenarios, usually with an agent acting as the president, while other agents try to navigate potential threats. Part of their training includes handling what happens in pretty much every movie about the president. That's just a cheeky way of saying agents are routinely shot with fake bullets. To make for an effective simulation, they train with non-lethal plastic bullets that leave a colored mark when hit. And no, their training isn't just who can jump in front of the bullet fastest, it's more how to keep everyone alive. Despite their extensive training, agents will admit that the most nerve-wracking part of the job is dealing with impromptu presidential greetings with private citizens while standing behind a roped-off area, or what they call working the rope. To prevent agents from using their bodies as bulletproof shields, purposefully or not, they are constantly scanning for signs of suspicious activity, like hands stuffed in pockets. It turns out their black sunglasses aren't just for looking cool, they're also great for crowd scanning without tipping off potential suspects. Number 8. There's no sworn oath to die for the president. Speaking of getting shot with fake bullets, in reality, Secret Service agents don't actually take an oath to die for the president. I know. Decades of Hollywood movies down the drain. But don't worry though, the movies are onto something. Even though agents never actually swear to anything, potentially dying for the president is an occupational hazard they are well aware of and ready to face. But don't think they won't take every step to avoid it. During the 1981 attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan, not only were his agents quick to react with medical attention, Agent Timothy McCarthy also reacted by becoming a human shield and taking a bullet to the chest for Reagan. Lucky for him, he survived. He was hailed as a hero and received the NCAA Award of Valor the next year. Yeah, the Secret Service probably would like you to keep thinking they take a blood pact to lay down their lives for the president. Maybe fewer people would be likely to bring a gun to a presidential event. And hey, it might make them look cool, even a little. Number 7. They travel with bags of compatible blood for the president. Thousands of people are employed by the Secret Service. It's a pretty sizable agency that handles way more tasks than you might think. Consequently, only a small number of agents are actually part of the Presidential Protection Division, the branch of the agency responsible for guarding the lives of the Commander-in-Chief and their family. Members of this division aren't just highly trained at responding quickly to threatening situations. If a situation turns completely sour and the president gets shot, for example, these agents are trained in what they call 10-minute medicine, aka doing everything possible to keep the president alive. Agents are never more than 10 minutes away from a trauma center when they travel, and they carry along with them bags of blood in the president's motorcade, just in case a quick transfusion is necessary. The fact that these agents are trained in emergency medicine is no coincidence either. They know exactly what they're doing. Medical training is exactly what saved Ronald Reagan's life back in 1981 during an assassination attempt. I'm pretty sure the Secret Service wouldn't like you to know that it'll take more than putting a bullet in the president to take him down. They'll have him patched up and hooked up to an IV before he even makes it to the hospital. Number 6. They make sure the president is never alone. I imagine the Secret Service would like to keep this one a complete secret, because it can get a little embarrassing. When an agent is on protective detail, it means following the president wherever they go. This includes the doctor's office, out on a date, and of course, the bathroom. They simply can't help it. A threat can occur anywhere after all. Ronald Reagan apparently had his Secret Service agent follow him into the doctor's office for his prostate exams and colonoscopies. That must have either made them the best of friends or been incredibly awkward for everyone involved. It isn't just the president that gets the burden of constant surveillance though. Agents can be assigned to other people as well, like the vice president for example, and they don't exactly have an option to refuse Secret Service supervision. It's not all bad, at least the president gets to assign agents to watch other people. Apparently, after the September 11th attacks, George W. Bush would assign agents to escort some White House staff members. That way, it isn't just the president that'll have to poop quietly as an agent stands outside his bathroom stall. Number 5. They interview potential assassins. This one is more of an open secret than anything else. If you've seen any movie where men wearing black suits show up at your front door asking questions, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. The President of the United States is probably the most surveilled person in the entire world, and that includes what people say about the President as well. Nobody has to tell you that making a threat against the President's life is a terrible idea. However, if you do, it's up to the Secret Service to determine whether you should be warned, committed for psychiatric evaluation, or charged with a Class E felony. They call this protective intelligence. Anytime someone makes a suggestion of wanting to harm the president, they will have every aspect of their lives investigated in a totally non-intrusive way, asking your friends, family, neighbors, employees, and associates several questions about you. The Secret Service is one to always treat every potential threat seriously. They know how quickly things can spiral out of control. Number 4. The president's food is under constant surveillance. Not only is the president under constant surveillance, whatever he eats is as well. So if you wanted to send the president a Thanksgiving turkey as thanks, don't even bother, he's never going to eat it. Every bite of the president's food is prepared under the watchful eye of the Secret Service, straight up staring down the White House chefs to make sure no one is adding anything subversive, you know? No dash of cyanide for extra taste in these meals. You're probably wondering how this works when the president travels, right? Well, whether he's traveling on Air Force One or just out of town, he has a special group of stewards that come along to prepare his meals. And when the president has a photo op at a diner and orders food, chances are he's likely not going to eat it. Surprisingly enough, the president can still order pizza pretty easily. The pizza is just sent to another address, like a naval observatory. I mean, what are the odds some random pizza out there is for the president anyway? As you can imagine, with this amount of surveillance, there must be a handful at hotels. Guess what? You're exactly right. When the president travels to a hotel, the Secret Service kicks it into overdrive. Hotel employees will be subjected to background checks. If you have a criminal history and you work for the hotel, then you better enjoy your day off. During the president's stay, the Secret Service will take over entire floors above and below the president and even commandeer the elevators for their own private use. Talk about rude guests. Number 3. Their vehicles are tricked out. If there's one thing the movies got right, it's just how tricked out some of their rides are. The presidential limo, for example, is pretty nuts. When the president is on the road, he's typically riding in this heavily armored limousine. It's discreet, flat tire-proof, bulletproof, and it's driven by agents with extensive experience in defensive driving. I'm talking about the kind of driver that can pull off a 180-degree drift in a stretch limo. Another tricked-out vehicle the president rides in is Air Force One. I would love to say the movies exaggerated with this one, but frankly, everything the presidential plane can do is still unknown and is kept strictly classified, for obvious reasons. The aircraft is intended to function as a second command center for the president, so on top of it being able to refuel mid-flight, it also comes with a $20 million refrigerator that can keep all perishables going for a really long time. And of course, the president isn't just flying with his Secret Service agents. He travels with a kitchen crew and an on-call doctor. If there's ever any issue mid-flight, there's a fully stocked pharmacy, a wide range of communications equipment, and compatible blood for the president, of course. Even if the president isn't flying in Air Force One or in a special limo, any regular commercial vehicle the president is going to be sitting in first has to go through a Secret Service garage, where it's modified to be more attack-resistant. Number 2. The cutting-edge weapons they're packing. As they say, the best defense is a good offense. Well, thankfully the United States Secret Service isn't saying that, or presidential rallies would be a little more deadly, to say the least. But that doesn't mean when the bullets start flying they won't be ready to whip out the big guns, literally. As you might have guessed, the Secret Service is packing some serious heat. They have at their disposal some seriously cutting-edge weaponry. If you're out to hurt the president, trust me, they don't plan on missing and letting you go. If there's one thing the Secret Service is really good at, it's remaining covert. They might not want you to know exactly how much of a threat they are at first glance. That is until they whip out the P90 submachine gun with custom ammunition. Agents prefer to carry around a P90 because it's so compact and can be easily hidden inside a suit. As for the pistols they carry, a Glock 9mm pistol is the preferred firearm thanks to how light and efficient it is. They don't just wear these suits to beat the heat and look good while they're at it. It's also great for concealing weapons on your person. And the sunglasses protect their eyes against any liquid that might be thrown at them. Long story short, you don't want to mess with them. Number 1. There are many safe houses and hiding spots. You're not going to beat the Secret Service in a game of hide and seek. They've perfected the art of hiding high-value targets over the past several decades. After all, the president might be called the commander-in-chief, but he's not about to whip out a submachine gun and defend himself, so it's much easier to just hide him. For example, every year when the President delivers the State of the Union address to the members of Congress, the Supreme Court, and the Cabinet, the Secret Service would hide the one member of the Cabinet required to stay behind in case a terrorist group attacks the Capitol and kills everyone. Mount Weather has been a popular hiding spot for top members of the government for quite some time now. Directions to the facility were even on the back of the IDs for top White House staff. That's not to say there aren't plenty of hiding spots we simply don't know about. Speaking of which, the Secret Service doesn't just have a bunch of secret safe houses for government officials, they also have secret offices of their own in DC. On H Street in Washington, D.C., for example, you can find the Secret Service headquarters. It's a very nondescript, unmarked, tan brick 9-story building. And frankly, they'd prefer you didn't know they were even there. They don't even have trash cans outside the place, in case anyone wanted to leave a bomb in there. On 9/11, this building is where they hid the First Lady, so yeah, it doubles as a safe house. It has multiple armories, a joint operations center, and plenty of agents ready to get in your way. Know any more secrets about the Secret Service? Which one of these entries do you think are actually meant to deceive you? If you enjoyed this video, do click on a video on the screen. It's just as good, don't worry. See you there.